Hi, welcome back to Lilly Makes. My name is Sarah and this is my journaling space here on YouTube where I like to document and share all the things that I've been making. Today's episode is a little bit overdue. It's been 3 months since I last recorded and uploaded an episode. The past few months have been a bit busy, so I just haven't had the time to record and share anything yet. So today's episode is going to be about all the things that I made in the months of July, August, and September. And I have one thing that I finished yesterday, which was October 3rd. So today is Friday, October 4th that I'm recording, and I'm hoping to get this edited and uploaded as quickly as possible. Before I get into the episode, some housekeeping. If you haven't yet liked and subscribed, please do so. It would mean so much to me. And I also wanted to welcome all the new subscribers. I've had quite a bit of new subscribers the past couple of months. Thank you for subscribing to my channel and for following along on my knitting journey. Welcome back to all of my current subscribers. It's really good to have you here. Everything that I talk about I will include in the description box down below, so if you're interested in any of the patterns or yarns or shops that I purchase my patterns and yarns at, I will have it down below, and I will also include full details on all of my projects that I talk about as well in the description box. I will have timestamps, so you're more than welcome to peruse to your leisure. And I don't think I will include any acquisitions today because I wanted to record a fall plans video really soon. Hopefully I can get that done soon, and then I will include my recent acquisitions there because I have fall plans with those. And then I will try my best, if I remember at the end, to include a brief life update if you're interested in checking that out as well. So we can get into the episode now. Like I said, it's been 3 months since I've last recorded and uploaded anything. And I have some finished objects and I have some works in progress to share with you today. I think I have 5 or 6 finished objects to share from the past 3 months, and I have about four whips to share today. I will start chronologically and I will look at my Ravelry notes because my brain is long gone. Okay, in the months of July and August, I actually did not. Oh, no, in July. I only knitted one garment in the month of July, and it was the blouse number 1 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. So July was an interesting month. My husband and I celebrated our 19th wedding anniversary. I wanted to make something that I thought would be a little special, and it didn't really turn out the way I expected. I'll try it on and I will share it, but it's not my favorite. So I'll get to all of the details about it, but let me just put it on real fast. Okay, I will stand up and I will talk about this. Now you can see that it is very sheer. I could have gone down a needle size. I didn't. It's fine. I actually got a red tank top that is very close to this color that I could wear it underneath, so it wouldn't be a problem. I actually really like the design, and the only thing is I decided I wanted to make it into a dress, and it because of how sheer it is, it just doesn't work. So my plan is to rip it out and bind off here. Oh, I'm out of focus. Am I out of focus? So yes, I don't like how sheer it is, so it is very sheer because it is more form-fitting at my hips And because of that, because of how sheer the fabric is, it just does not look great, and I'm not comfortable with that. So my plan is to rip it out back to where my hips are and bind off there. But overall, I really love this, and I want to enjoy wearing this. So yeah, not the biggest fan of how I made this, but I do love the pattern, and I do want to make more of this garment, and I'll probably do it next summer. I'll make another one. My sleeves, I think I made it at a good length for myself because it's kind of a bell sleeve and it's wide here. It would like get in the way if I'm like cooking or, you know, eating or whatever. So the length right here, where it's not quite at my wrist but a little bit higher, is perfect for me for a summer going into fall knit. And I think this is also a great fall transitional garment. So yes, that is my blouse number 1. The yarn that I used was, I didn't put it in my notes, but I used Sandnes Garn Tynn Lina held double in the color Poppy. I will include all the information down below so you don't have to worry about any missing information. I'll include it down below. But yeah, like I said, I have a red tank top to wear this with once I rip it out. I could wear it tucked into like a skirt or something and it would be fine that way. But because it's, you know, it's a lot of fabric, it is a little uncomfortable, and I've tried it a few times and I didn't like it like that. So I don't wear it like that. I haven't really worn it because of how uncomfortable like wearing it like this makes me feel. So yeah, this hasn't been a favorite. I love the pattern and I do love the color. I think might not be my best color, but I like it, and I need to just rip it out and fix it. That's that. I will go into my second finished object now, and I'll put it on. I will double check what it was. Okay, yes. Okay, I'll put it on now. Let me take this off. Okay. This, by the way, this red yarn, the Lina, it gets like fuzzies all over my clothes when I try it on and take it off, and it's kind of annoying, but that's okay. This garment is the plain yoke tee from Lene Home Samso, or Lenit on Instagram, and her website is also Lenit. I knitted this with Sandnes Garn Lina, and I don't have the color here either, but it's a neutral color. It's like beige or something, and it kind of like blends into my skin, which isn't, you know, the best, but I don't mind it. I kind of need it a little bit. This year I've been knitting with a lot of more color, so I kind of knitted this just to have a little neutral in my wardrobe, but I really like this. Like I said, I knitted this with Sandnes Garn Lina. It is I realized I didn't go into the construction of the blouse number 1. My apologies. It's been a while, so I'm kind of forgetful. This is a circular yoke knit tee, and I used 4mm needles to knit this garment with. I used 6 balls of Lina for a size medium. And there are 2 options in the pattern. You have a very beginner-friendly, easy version where you don't do short rows, and then you have a also somewhat beginner-friendly, less easy version where you do short rows. And I made mine. This is the second time I knitted this garment. So I started knitting it on a trip sometime over this spring. And then I did the short rows and then I put it down because I was just like kind of just not wanting to knit on it. And then I picked it back up like 2 weeks later and I did short rows again. So I had done the first set of short rows, which was what the pattern for the pattern, the way it was written. And then I went back and I did short rows again, the same amount of short rows. So I was like, that doesn't look good. I'm just gonna rip it out. And I put it on hold, and then I restarted it in August. And I decided, because I was kind of done with the way I did it the first time, I just did it without short rows this time, which was fine. It's like, it's comfortable. I like it a little bit higher up anyway. So I knit it without the short rows, the very basic, easy version, and I like it. I like it a lot. It's a little bit wider, which I think after you do all the short rows and you finish the yoke and then you knit the body, to me it's a little bit wider than I would necessarily like, but it's just a casual, you know, something to just wear at home and just be comfy in, so it doesn't really bother me too much. You do the rolled edges, so it's finished with just stockinette and bind off, so kind of a rolled edge. And you switch needles to a smaller needle size for the sleeve edges, and you also do the very yoke with a smaller needle size as well. And you do it at the hem as well. And I switched here, I switched here, I switched here. I started with a smaller needle size here, but I didn't end up switching here, so that could also be why it flares out and not, you know, cinch in as it should. But it's fine. I'm not complaining about this. I actually really like this. It's very cozy, and it's a great, just basic, something to have in the closet to just lounge around in. It's a great, like, loungewear kind of garment. So I like this a lot, and I have worn it quite a few times, and it's a great pattern. It's the plain yoke tee 20 solo. She has a few different versions of this garment, and she has one where so this is knitted with Lena. There's another one that you use DK weight yarn. I think she has a fingering weight version as well. And then she has like more fall appropriate weather versions, so with long sleeves and fluffy yarn. And yeah, that's it for the plain yoke tee by Knit, and I will get into my other garment. My next finished object was a test knit for Coco Amore Knitwear, and this pattern is actually out today. This is the Maritime Tee, and I'll stand up, and this is another really great summer knit. This pattern is knitted with sport weight yarn on 3.5mm needles, and I used Mandarin Petite, which is Sandnes Garn's 100% cotton yarn, and it's labeled as fingering weight on Ravelry, I think. Yeah, it's labeled as fingering weight, but I feel like it is definitely in between sport and fingering weight. On the ball it says, on Ravelry it says 195 yards per 50 grams, but I think on the ball it's a little different. So this is a striped tee with a contiguous shoulder construction, which is similar to quite a few knits that have been released recently, or in the past like year and a half to 2 years. So this construction is similar to my next pattern, my next finished object that I'll talk about when I get to it. You start with the back, then you work your way down with increases. My shoulder looks a little different than Cheryl's Coco Amore Knitwear's, but it's because the original pattern was a little bit different than the final copy, but I like it like this anyway. So you start with the back, you do the shoulder shaping, increasing inside on the outside, and then you put the yarn on hold, you pick up the fronts, both sides, you do shaping here and shaping here. Then you join the whole thing, you join at the neck, you knit all the way down, put the sleeves on hold, knit the body, pick up the sleeves, do the neck. Pretty straightforward. If you are familiar with drop shoulder constructions, if you're familiar with the contiguous shoulder shaping construction, it's pretty straightforward once you get the hang of it. And then you're also simultaneously working stripes. So I really like this pattern. This quickly became my favorite knit this summer once I finished it off. And it was also the knit garment that got me back into knitting, because I felt like I was in a knitting slump this summer. Like, I like knitting summer garments, but I just kind of got into a slump. And this kind of got me out of it, so I really appreciate doing this test. It was very fun, and I really have been craving like nautical stripes in my wardrobe. I don't think I have anything with blue and white stripes, so I'm gonna remedy that this fall as well. But yeah, this is the Maritime Tee, which is, I think, is a very fitting name anyway for especially my color choices. And you finish it with 1x1 rib. I did the tubular bind off, sewn bind off, and you do a folded collar. Pretty straightforward, and the pattern was very easy to understand and very easy to follow. So I highly recommend this if you're looking for a summer knit for next year. And that's it for the Maritime Tee. I will move on to my next finished object. My next finished object is the Fabian Tee, which is another pattern from Lilly Makes. So I have some feelings about this garment because I knitted this while I was moving my oldest kid into college. So this is kind of a special piece to me. I knitted this with Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. I had the yarn, I purchased it last year before I had some thoughts on that yarn. I know a lot of people really like the Pure Silk, and I think it's a great yarn. It's just not my favorite for summer knits. But I had it in my yarn collection, so I didn't want to let it just sit there, and it's a color that I'd been really wanting to work on. So it just grew significantly post wash and block, and I'm not like too mad at it, except it just has a ton of positive ease. Like this is where I like my best is here, and it's just a lot of positive ease, and it just grew a lot more than I really liked. But I still love this garment. As I said before, it's very special to me. It's just very wide. And I also did the stockinette edge for the neck and the sleeve and the hem at the bottom. She gives a few different options for how to do a finishing, and I just preferred this summer the rolled stockinette edge because I feel like it's very casual and it's just not structured. It's just casual and flowy, and it's just summery to me for some weird reason. I just like it a lot for summer garments, from summer knits. So this is constructed similarly, like I said, to the Maritime Tee. You do the contiguous shoulder shaping here, except you just pick up along the cast on edge, whereas the Maritime Tee you pick up along the cast on edge, but you have the knit, the increases. I'm saying this very poorly. This is just picked up right along the cast on edge, and the Maritime Tee is picked up along the cast on edge, but you have increases. So you have a bit of a ridge on the Maritime Tee. So you pick up the stitches at the cast on edge on the Fabian Tee. It's so large. I don't know what to do. You pick up the stitches right on the cast on edge here, and it leaves a nice even edge there. Hi.
I think we go out.
Okay. Thank you. Bye. And I mean, aside from how wide it is, the amount of positive ease I have, I really like it. I love the construction, and I would definitely use a different yarn if I were to make this again, and I think I would. It's a great summer staple, I think, in my opinion. And I like the rolled edge, like I said. I like how casual it is. I like how easygoing it feels, and it's also like loungewear to me for like at home, just like lounging around. What else can I say about this? Oh, it is knitted with finger weight yarn on 3mm needles. I forgot one garment that I knitted in July, so let's rewind and go back. I'm done with talking about this one. I will move on to a previously finished object. This is the Amelie Tee, which is a pattern from Petite Knit. I have some errors that I will talk about in a sec, but let me just go into the pattern details a little bit. This is a striped fingering weight t-shirt from Petite Knit, pattern from Petite Knit. I really like this. I used the recommended yarn, which was Sunday, and I used the colors Whipped Cream and Plastic Pink. No, not Plastic Pink. I used the colors Whipped Cream and Blossom. Sandnes Garn released this color this year, and I absolutely just loved it, and I wanted to knit all the things in this color. So I originally bought the yarn Blossom to make something for my toddler. She's not a toddler anymore, my youngest, and I just never got around to it, so I decided to just use it for the Amelie Tee. The yarn recommendation was Sunday, so I went with that because I love Sunday. I love knitting with Sunday. I love wearing the yarn. It's 100% Merino yarn, if you're not aware. Non-super rush Merino yarn, and it's definitely one of my favorite bases to knit with. So I knitted this according to the pattern with the exception of the hem of the body. So you'll see my big mistake there. This is, you're supposed to have a rolled stockinette hem at the base, and I didn't have the pattern with me, and now I know how to knit a rolled stockinette edge, and it just went over my head that I was supposed to start by knitting and not doing ribbing before binding off. So I just left it like that. It really doesn't bother me that much. And the other mistake that I did was on one sleeve, it's supposed to be a two thin stripes, one thick stripe. I completely forgot as I was knitting, and I did an extra stripe, and then I was like close to the bind off when I realized I had done an extra stripe. So I bound off, and I was like, I don't care, it's just an aesthetic detail, it's not going to bother me. And I did the same for the other sleeve, so they're matching. It's incorrect, but they're matching, so that's all that matters. So anyway, this is the Amelie Tee. I love this. I have been wearing it quite a bit too. I wear all of my knit tees in the summer, and I just enjoy wearing knit tees. I just enjoy wearing my summer knits, which is why I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get through what I had wanted to make for this summer. But yeah, I kind of just was in a slump for a couple of months, or like 6 weeks or so in July and August. So I am fine with what I accomplished this summer, and for my summer knits, I'm happy with them. I have one more knit, and it is a fall knit, and I will put it on right now. Oh boy, I love this thing. I love it so much. I love it, I love it, I love it. This is the Cumulus blouse from Petite Knit. And yes, if you haven't noticed, I've been in a pink mood this year. And I think I talked about that my last episode, or the one prior was like in my pink era or something like that. I don't know that like pink is the best color for my skin tone, but I love it and I don't care. Anyway, I finished this last night, and I washed it and I blacked it, and I laid it outside, not in direct sunlight, but just, because it's very warm. We are still in very high temperatures, so this dried very quickly outside. Oh, I love it. It's just, I can't get over it. I'm like so happy with this. I want to wear it. I don't want to take it off. This, like I said, is the Cumulus blouse, which is a pattern from Petite Knit. I used some yarn that I received for my birthday last February. I wound that yarn up the moment I got it, and it was just sitting on my shelf for a year and a half. And I kept staring at it, and I kept wanting to knit it, and I just never got around to it until I just spontaneously decided this is a fall plan. I'm starting on it, and I'm getting it done. The yarn is Sysleriget Merino Singles in the color Fluff, and I paired it with Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the color Cherry Blossom. I have used the Knitting for Olive color Cherry Blossom before in a poppy tee, and it's just one of my favorite pinks. It's very soft and it's very delicate, and I feel like it just combined really well with the Sysleriget Merino Singles. So I paired it together. I love the outcome. I love this yarn. I really love Sysleriget's hand-dyed yarn. I feel like she does just an amazing job with dyeing her hand-dyed yarn. And I am just so happy with how this turned out. I did do one mistake, and it doesn't bother me at all. I've like thrown like my perfectionism out the window, and I don't mind like imperfections in my knits at all anymore. So I did this cuff with the I-cord edge with a 4-stitch I-cord edge, and then this one is a stitch smaller. I did it with 3 stitches, but I also did the neck 3 stitches and the hem 3 stitches as well. A 3-stitch I-cord, 3-stitch I-cord, 4-stitch I-cord, 3-stitch I-cord. It's not noticeable, it's not significant. It's just something to note that I wasn't really paying attention to, and anyway, it's fine. I like it. I love it. I love this garment. I'm just happy with this. It is slightly cropped, more so than I would really like, but it's also not that big of a deal to me because I can like wear it with high-waisted skirts or like slightly tuck it. I could still slightly tuck it in. I'm wearing leggings. I could still slightly tuck it into my leggings and it will be fine. Somewhat, yeah, but it's really cute. I really like this. I can't get over how good this garment turned out. This is my 3rd Cumulus blouse, and it's definitely not the last. I feel like this is a great transitional piece where I could throw it over t-shirts, or I could just throw it over any number of whatever I'm wearing. So yeah, that's the Cumulus blouse, and I think that's my finished objects. I have some whips now that I can get into. I'm not going to go into these chronologically. I think I don't even remember when I started half of these. I will start with the smallest. Nope, I won't start with the smallest. I'll start with just one of them. This pattern, pink. This is the Bonnie Cable Sweater, which is a pattern from Sandnes Garn. It was released this year, and it's a children's pattern. So they have multiple Bonnie Cable Sweater patterns. They have the Bonnie Cable Sweater Worsted edition that I knitted last year. Then they came out with Bonnie Cable Sweater DK, which also came out last year, or came out this year. And then they have a child's version, and then they have a dress that just came out for this fall. So I'm making this for my youngest. She picked the yarn. I am knitting this with Sandnes Garn Sunday, and Sandnes Garn Alpaca Folgetrad in the colorway Bubblegum. And I started this when I got the pattern, which was at the start of the year. And I am making the size 6. She just turned 5, so this should still fit her into next year. And obviously it's going to expand a little bit once it's washed and blocked. But I just have the body done. I need the neck and I need the sleeves. So this is a drop shoulder cable knit. You start at the back and then you pick up for the fronts here. Then you join at the underarms, knit down. I'm really proud of this because I hadn't done this with my last when I did the adult size bonnie cable sweater for myself. But you are supposed to rearrange, well no, I did rearrange stitches, but you rearrange the stitches here for the cable to make it kind of, you know, finish where it looks finished and it's not just like a bunch of stitches just there. And then you change needle sizes for the ribbing. Then you rearrange the stitches for 2x2 rib, and then from the 2x2 rib to the 1x1 rib. And I really like the look of it. So my hope is to finish this fairly quickly for her so she can wear it, even though it's very hot, so she won't be wearing it anytime soon. But yeah, I hope to finish this for her for the fall. And I haven't really knitted for my kids much this year. And I need to remedy that too, because especially my younger son and my older daughter, they really like my knits. So that's a bonnie cable sweater junior edition, a pattern from Sandnes Garn, and I'm knitting that for my youngest. My next work in progress is something that has been shown on this channel a few times, I think. I think a few times. And that is the mini dress also from Sandnes Garn. So it's this dress. This pattern, this garment has been a labor of love, but I am near the end, thankfully. And I still have a month of hot weather, so I think I'll be okay. But I definitely also want to finish this, especially because I want to get into more of my fall knits. But I'm gonna stand up and I'm just gonna go up, and it still keeps going. It's still going. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna step back a tiny bit. Okay. All right, so I am holding it at my ankles. Actually, it's still past my ankles, but here it is. I can't actually, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this pattern. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this dress. It's a lot of fabric, and it's a lot of knitting, and it's a lot of stitches, and it's on 3.5 millimeter needles. So it's been slow going. I've been taking my time, I suppose. I've been kind of taking my time with this. I think you cast on over 300 stitches. For my size, I'm knitting a size medium. And so it's that. And then you start decreasing, going up like every 5 to 6 centimeters. And then you do a bunch of decreases. My size is about 19 decreases. And I just did the last decrease recently. So I now get to cast off the underarms. So this is the beginning of round anyway. So I will cast off a bunch of stitches here. I will cast off stitches here. And then I will start working flat, working up, and binding off, or is it? Decreasing. I'm pretty sure it's one or the other. Binding off or decreasing to shape the arms, and then doing the front. And then binding off here, and then joining at the shoulders. So hopefully that won't take too much time. I feel like this just got boring after a while because it's just all stockinette. Even though I felt like I needed a bunch of just stockinette projects. But I'm near the end. I'm seeing the finish line, and I hope I can finish it this year because I don't want to do what I did with my last dress where it kind of extended into this year. My Lola dress from last year kind of just traveled with me into 2024. Anyway, that's the mini dress. I'm knitting that with Tynn Lina and Mandarin Petite in the colors that's on the sample. So I'm using Mandarin Petite Natural and Tynn Light Peach Flower. And it's got a really pretty soft pink that is marled, and I really like it a lot. I have 2 more whips. I'm almost done. And this is also something that I've shown a few times on my channel. And this is the Magna cable sweater from Rauma Garn. I don't have the booklet with me, but this is an all-over cable sweater that is knitted bottom up and seamed. And then I finished one sleeve. The last time I shared this, I think, I removed the stitch marker, the progress keeper. I was about here maybe, but I did all the increases up, and then I bound off on the sleeve. It's got a really gorgeous horseshoe cable on both sides of this diamond cable, which I just really like, and I love this color so much. But I think I might have done my increases too close together. I feel like I could have done them one more round before doing another increase, because, okay, this is where I comfortably wear my sleeves, and this is where it's reaching me. But I think with it being a drop shoulder, it should be okay. And also this yarn is going to grow a slight amount. I've never worked with this yarn before, but from reading online, reading on Ravelry different notes about this yarn, I feel like it should be okay for me, and it'll grow a little bit more. The yarn I'm using is Rauma Garn Fivel, and I forget the color, but it's like 003. I think that's the color number. But yeah, this is on my fall plans to finish. I have every intention of finishing this fall because I love it and I want to finish it and wear it once it's cold enough, because it's not cold enough right now. And my final whip is something I literally just casted on, and it is another Sandnes Garn pattern. If you are new here, I have a slight obsession with Sandnes Garn patterns. If you're returning, you know the drill. This is the Agnes sweater, which is from their more recent women's collection. And the pattern number is 2409-10. I don't have anything to share. I just casted this on. And the reason I don't want to really make progress on this is because I want to finish my summer knits. I lied. I have one more whip. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll talk about this first. Okay, this is the Agnes cardigan, and I am knitting this with the recommended yarn Tynn and Mohair. Yes, Tynn and Tynn Silk Mohair from Sandnes Garn. I'm using their tweed, their natural tweed, which is so gorgeous, and then their white natural color Mohair. I think the color is 1001 or 1012. And then this is the natural tweed. So I've only done one set of increases thus far for the shoulder shaping. But this is also, I really like Sandnes Garn's cardigan patterns. I find that I'm learning new techniques every time I knit a new cardigan from Sandnes Garn. Or a new sweater sometimes too. But like, I really enjoy how they incorporate new techniques into their knits, into their designs. And this is a new technique to me, I'm pretty sure. Or it's very similar to the European shoulder construction. But I am eager to work on this, but I want to finish my summer knits before actually making more progress on this. Hi. Love you. And then, yeah, that's all I really have to say about this. Not a lot going on. It's knit on 4mm. It's knitted with 4mm needles, and then there is a double knit button band. Yes, a very wide double knit button band. It's really hard to see the design because it's such a dark background and it's a dark color cardigan. So I will do my best to include some pictures here. And then twisted rib. Now, twisted rib is not my favorite, but I will persevere and get it done because I really like the look of this cardigan. Even though it's not my favorite to knit, it's not my favorite really to look at, but I think it looks very chic here, and I like it. So I will do the twisted rib on this, hopefully. I might change my mind, we'll see. And I think that's it for this cardigan. I have one more work in progress, and it is another summer garment that I started last week. It is the Sevilla blouse by Petite Knit. And I don't think I've really shared anything about this on my Instagram stories. I normally share progress updates on my Instagram stories. But this is, oops, I'm holding it backwards. This is the Sevilla blouse from Petite Knit, and I've really been enjoying boat neck constructions this summer. I know summer's over for most people. It's still very hot here, so I am still gonna keep going with my summer knits. And I've been really enjoying the boat neck construction for summer garments. So this is a very, very basic, very straightforward, very easy to follow pattern. You cast on the back, you literally just work straight down. There's no shaping for the armholes, no shaping for the back neck, but you pick up the front here and here. I apologize if the angle moved a bit. My card was full, so I had to delete some stuff from it. Okay, I was talking about the Sevilla blouse. Yes, so then you pick up the front here. There is short row shaping at the shoulders, and it's a pretty new construction for Petite Knit, I think. But it's very basic and it's very straightforward, and you also just knit straight down, no shaping on the armholes, and then you join and then you knit down. So it's straightforward, basic, my opinion. I don't use the word basic with a negative connotation. I think basic is perfectly fine, and I like basic. I enjoy basic. So yeah, I hope that word doesn't offend people. And that's a Sevilla blouse. I am using Sandnes Garn Lina, held with Tynn Lina in the colorway Bubblegum, which is the same color as my daughter's cable knit sweater. Let me grab that. Different bases kind of have a different, like, tint almost. Like this one is somewhat more vibrant than this, if you can tell. I don't know if you can tell. Anyway, yeah, that's it. And I'm using the recommended needle size, which is 5mm needles. I don't plan on doing the finishing how the pattern recommends. She recommends doing ribbing, and I think I'm just going to bind off in the roll stockinette. But I will do the neck how it is written in the pattern, which is also rolled stockinette. But the edges for the sleeve and the hem for the body, I am just going to do a rolled stockinette because, like I said, I've been enjoying that this year. And that really is all of my works in progress and my finished objects. It's gone over an hour, but I'll probably cut a bit of it off because I have had interruptions and such. Yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching and thank you for sticking around. And if you haven't already yet subscribed, please do so. It would mean so much to me, and I really, really, really want to record and upload my fall plans soon, hopefully in the coming week. I know it's been an extended period since I've last recorded and uploaded an episode, but I think fall plans is always just fun. It's fun to just imagine all the things that I want to make, even though I probably won't get to half of them. It's just nice to just imagine, you know? That's it for today. I know I said I was going to do a life update, but I think it's been a really long episode. So maybe I can do that in the next episode. Yeah, if you made it this far, thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing if you have. I hope you enjoyed the episode today. I hope you found some inspiration in my many works in progress and finished objects. And I hope it wasn't too rambly. I tried my best. I'm a little bit forgetful these days. But yeah, that's it. I will see you next time. Happy knitting. Bye.